Welcome to another of the World Cup preview series. Today I'm going to be talking about Mexico, third team in Group A. We're still in Group A. We've done France and South Africa. Now it's Mexico's turn. Mexico is, of course, from the CONCACAF region. They qualified relatively convincingly. As usual, it's basically a free ticket into the World Cup. Each time for the USA and Mexico, they can really only not qualify by shooting themselves in the foot. Mexico did have a bit of a rough start under Sven-Göran Eriksson, but you can't really blame the squad when Eriksson is the coach. In 2009, Javier Aguirre, the current coach, took over, and they won most of the games since then and qualified quite comfortably. I think Mexico are a good team in this group, a team you would expect to reach the second round. They usually do every time they play in the World Cup. Let's look at the squad. Interestingly enough, they're still playing with Cuauhtemoc Blanco, the striker, playmaker, number 10. He's 37 years old by now, but he's still going strong. He's in the squad, and they have a few other older players, but also a lot of young talent. For example, next to Blanco, they'll have Guillermo Franco, also Argentinian-born, of course, but turned Mexican striker. Played well for Villarreal in the past. Now how to spell it, West Ham United. He is also up there. And they also have a couple of young players like Javier Hernandez. He still plays in Mexico the past season, but he's actually going to Manchester United, so he should be quite a talented player. They also have Carlos Vela. He already plays for Arsenal, but he's been mostly playing for the second team. We'll have to wait till maybe he can get his breakthrough at the World Cup. And therefore also they'll have the young talented Giovanni Dos Santos, a player from the Barcelona school. Was the son of a Brazilian footballer who played in Mexico. That's why he has a Brazilian name and background, but he plays for Mexico. He also has a younger brother, Jonathan Dos Santos, but he'd actually just missed out on the squad. He still plays at Barcelona, but plays very few games. But Mexico has a lot of young, talented players up front with Hernandez, Vela, and Giovanni Dos Santos. And Jonathan Dos Santos, they got four players, barely 21, 22 years old that are very talented. And but perhaps this World Cup is going to be a bit too early. Maybe Vela is able to make his mark at Arsenal in the future. Maybe Hernandez at Manchester United. Maybe Giovanni Dos Santos will get his stuff together at Tottenham. Then, in 4 years' time, it could be one of the most feared attacks at the World Cup, because I'm sure they'll be there again in 4 years' time. But right now they're a bit young, and that's also why they're still hanging on to Franco and Blanco, two of the old guys. Of course, at the back, they've got lots of experience. Midfield too, Gerardo Torrado, Israel Castro, and Guardado. Just players who've been around the block, and who knows what's expected at this level. In defense, they got Francisco Rodriguez, or Mata, who plays for PSV. Salcido also plays for PSV. Osorio plays for Stuttgart, and of course Rafael Marquez, probably the biggest player of Mexico. Of course, central defender of Barcelona, captain of the team usually. Excellent player. So looking at this squad, it's really a mixture between young and old. And they played a lot of practice games leading up to the World Cup. They played, I believe, 8 games in 1 month time. They had a game pretty much every 3 or 4 days. They won most of these games. They also beat Italy recently in their last game, so that was a good preparation. Before that, they did lose to England and Holland, but 2-1 and 3-1. But really, that's no shame at all, and they competed quite well. There were pretty close games, and everything else they've performed well, and yeah, Mexico's looking good. Also, interestingly, they've scored in every game. Against Italy, scored twice, but also to England, against Holland, they managed to score a goal despite losing. So yeah, going forward, they're quite strong. Of course, Mexico has the traditional passing and moving game, good positioning, really dictating play usually. It's fun to watch, if you ask me, and I always hope they do well. And I think they can make it out of this group. Considering France is probably going to struggle and South Africa isn't that great of a team to begin with, this should be Mexico's chance to get through once again. So yeah, Mexico probably with the young talent they've got, this World Cup for those guys is going to be a bit too early. Probably they're going to do better 4 years from now, and that's why they're also leaning on the old guys. But they have a good team, and they should have the skill to get through this group. But we're going to go through all the games in my final prediction video of Group A, and we'll see who ends up winning the group. Anyway, that's it for me analyzing Mexico. Be sure to check out my next video on Uruguay. Thank you.